Good evening, and welcome to Hanging with the Walkers. Here with my host and co-host, Rogers Walker. Good evening, and welcome to another segment of Hanging with the Walkers. So excited to be here with my host and co-host, Rogers Walker.
Right.
We just get out there and do what we got to do. Just so excited to be with the one and only Blue Note. If you have not checked out my page, um, if you have not checked out her page, um, it's alive. That's what we need to do. You need to go and check out her song, check out her music, check out the places that she has been hanging out, and listen to someone that the Lord has put an overflow of anointing and blessing on her life. So, Melinda Daniel, aka Blue Note, welcome to Hanging with the Walkers.
Thank you very much, Pastors. I appreciate it. I am so honored to be here with both of you tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been a long time coming.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
feel like I'm in the best seat in the house now. Usually I'm watching from outside looking in, so this is a beautiful spot.
Oh man, I'm excited. He said I'm jumping the gun. I'm clicking buttons. I'm not supposed to be clicking. I'm saying things I'm not supposed to be saying. He says, "Oh, you're just excited." So I know our audience is in for a treat on tonight. We have Melinda Daniel, aka Blue Note, psalmist, poet, lyricist, mama, grandmama, auntie, lover of music, psalmist, you name it. We have her in front of us on tonight. And we just want you to just hold on to your seats while we delve into the life of Blue Note, aka Melinda Daniel. So please tell our audience who is Blue Note? What is Blue Note about?
I think you hit the nail on the head, Pastor. First and foremost, I am a woman of God, um, God-fearing woman, mother, one of my most treasured titles. Going on to be blessed to be able to be called, grandmother, or Mimi affectionately, for my grandbabies. Um, but I am pretty much as an artist, as a human, really. I'm a Renaissance woman. I'm a lover of life, of art, of humanity, and um, all of God's grace that I feel like is exhibited within all of that. And I feel like I'm at a stage in my life where I'm on a purpose walk, and I finally kind of tapped into the mindset of utilizing the gift that was given to me to share it with the world, and it's in turn seemingly become something that has been meant to be. So I'm pretty much just a real woman who is real and raw and rooted in love. I choose to share my writing and my music and my songs, and my voice, in hopes that maybe it might help to liberate somebody else to free themselves to tap into their own gifts or their own purpose walk. Um, I think that's what the Blue Note movement is all about.
It's all right. I love it. Referring to it as the Blue Note movement. Um, I heard on one of your interviews, and I'm gonna see if I get the same response. What is one thing that your followers or your audience, or lovers of the Blue Note movement, even though you have a circle and a following, what is one thing that they don't know about Blue Note?
Um, well, the first thing that always comes to mind for me, so I don't know if it's probably what you're referencing, but a lot of people don't realize that I actually have played 5 instruments. I'm not just a vocalist, that I'm kind of a, more rounded musician, if you will. I've played saxophone, the oboe, the clarinet, the flute, the piano. Um, so even though a lot of people know me as being a songbird, if you will, um, I've been a musician my entire life. And maybe that's why I'm kind of so good at being a vocalist, because I treat my voice like an instrument, and it kind of works out in that way for me. So I think a lot of people aren't aware of that because I don't still actively do it. But I was one of those kids that, what my one of his favorite stories to tell about me is how he'd never seen a kid before have a band member that was set in the band specifically to hand that kid their next instrument. That's how I used to be in the band. There was actually a kid that was assigned to sit next to me so that he could prep whichever instrument I would play for the next song, because I was able to fluctuate throughout the instruments and do things like that, in a concert or something when I was, younger. So a lot of people aren't aware of that because it's just not something that I still actively exercise. But
Wow. I know on one platform in our interview, I heard you refer to yourself as a introvert extrovert.
yeah, yeah, I'm an introverted extrovert. Yes, yeah, I'm
Listen,
not.
what I
I'm
heard.
not really a people person, like believe it or not. I'm very, self-contained. I
Okay,
kind of do way better to myself as opposed to amongst other people.
when I
So a lot
heard
of
that,
people don't realize that. 'Cause so many people, I'm
I
sorry. Go
started
ahead.
laughing when I heard that.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, obviously, I have I have a comfortability within myself.
Uh-huh.
I'm not. It's not an unsurety of myself when I'm amongst people. It's just unsurety of people when I'm amongst people. So
Wow.
I kind of, tend to, and I'm an empath, so I draw on people's energies a lot, and I'm very, very intentional and particular about my energy because I feel a lot of things and I take on a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
not only as an artist but as a human. So I'm very particular about when I'm out and about around people and what's getting on me, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
because I just I don't like certain energies. I don't like certain things to sway, whether it be my emotions or my safety or my well-being or what have you. So I do have a tendency to prefer to be to myself, and as an artist it helps me because when I'm able to hear my own thoughts and tap into my own creativity without outside interference, that helps me to, and I'm sure you can understand, it just helps you to deliver the story or the idea or the vision a little better when you can just kind of listen to yourself and God as opposed to all of the outside distractions.
Gotcha. Um, Being an artist and being in the public's eye all of the time, I know that those that will watch the interview now or later um, would say to themselves, "I didn't know that," because you have such an outgoing personality and you have a love that flows through the crowd. And to think that a person that is an introvert can share that much love and be aware slash not be aware of it. And it's hard to say, okay, how can she be an introvert if because
Right.
you can't display that because you're so hidden and shy and shut down. But
Yeah.
I guess that's a special gift all by itself
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. Because she
Amen.
definitely is a
Amen.
woman of great character, great integrity, great worth, great value. She carried herself to the utmost. And when we first met you, woman of God, we really did draw close to you just because of your presence itself.
Hmm.
And you have a spirit that draws people
Yes.
towards you, and the love that you expose amongst one another, the love that you share with one another, is really what taking you and catapulting to your next level. Because you are a people person, you are a loving person. Even though the things that you have went through in your life that people don't understand or know about, you know what I mean? The real who you are, what you came from, what you overcame, and what you're still overcoming, that's irrelevant until where the
Amen.
Lord is taking you at now. And so your integrity, your
Amen.
character, your worth, and your value is really going to catapult you to your next level. And we just greatly honored to be a part of this journey with you.
Hmm.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank
Definitely,
you very
definitely.
much for that. I appreciate
Yes, ma'am.
When I
it.
when I wrote this last book, My Broken Pieces, I was thinking to myself, the broken pieces of Melinda Daniel before. I'm sure Blue Note was already there. I'm just not birthed. I heard you doing the interview about having to sing at all of the barbecues, and your mama saying, "Come on and sing now," and my child got a gift. Come on, just
Yes,
sing.
ma'am. Those were good times.
Oh yeah, oh
Good
yeah, oh
times.
yeah. So I know that you were being prepared um, long time ago to be where you are
Amen.
now. So I think about the broken pieces of where you come from, and I heard you share your testimony one time, and I don't know how you feel about sharing it from whence you came to where you are now. Um, to know about the
Yes,
broken
ma'am.
pieces of Blue Note before there was a Blue Note.
Yeah, I mean it's funny. My youngest baby sister actually made a comment to my eldest sister a few years back, like not too long after I kind of started the traction started going, and she had said, wouldn't it have been cool if Melinda, had started Blue Note like 10 years ago? The sis would have been popping by now. She's just talking like, she look how good she is. And she was saying it from a great place.
Yes.
And from she's my youngest sister, my baby sister is 21 years younger than me. So she's younger than my children even. She's in their age bracket. Um, so, she was saying it, but it was funny because when I thought about it, I said, to some degree I get what she means, but for one, I'm a firm believer that God makes no mistakes,
Hmm.
and time, everything's going to happen in its own time. It's just what was written, was said to us. But on a tangible level, for me, with Blue Note, it's like all of the things that I went through up until I finally stepped up to the mic for the first time as a hi, my name is Blue Note, and I'm presenting myself as an artist and expecting people to take me seriously as someone who's, okay, I want to actually pursue this and put out my own music and put out my own art and my own poetry and see the response to that. I kind of didn't plan it. I kind of started it just to get over the jitters of being nervous of performing in front of people. So I actually started with I just go to open mic to see, can I get my palms to stop sweating? Because my kids, like my kids and, even their father, to his credit, I mean, for years, it was always like, you have this voice. And when I'm home, I sing with my complete self, I don't think
Right.
twice. So my babies have heard they've heard me at maximum capacity, not thinking twice about who's listening to me. And they're looking at my daughter, which is why everyone sees baby girl so much, because she's been right along with me since the first day with the just put yourself out there and see what you can do and see what comes of it. If I would have started way back, the experience, the maturity, the patience, the understanding, this business, this industry, whatever you want to call it, entertainment, it has a lot of, so I think that's why I'm so, for one, grateful that not only did the Blue Note movement grow organically, and it's, I haven't so much rushed anything, I haven't so much forced anything. I've just kind of been being obedient with the process, and it's grown itself, but it's to the point where it's like people see me. I don't have to put on anything to be Blue Note. I
Right.
literally, anyone who's known Melinda from working with me 20 years ago, from going to school with me as a little girl, from that is, you've heard me say it for years now. I show up as me wherever I go. You're not going to
Yes.
see me, and even you all have had a chance thus far to see me in different capacities or different spaces. And when I walk into a room, I don't have to get to the room door and go, okay, girl, let's make sure that we stay on task, because if we slip, we might not be the same person that we said we were last week. If anything, it's okay, God, I know as soon as I open these doors, I'm about to grasp all these different energies, and I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be Blue Note. I'm gonna be the person as, you know, hyping everybody up and showing
Yes.
love and doing the things that I do because that's who I genuinely am in my own heart and spirit. But all of the what I call the beautiful mosaic that makes up Blue Note, that's what I feel like I am. That people get to see that some days I'm gonna look fabulous, and some days it's gonna be a day, and I might get on, and it's gonna be a little hard, or I might get to the mic and my voice might crack a little bit because while I'm out here giving all of myself, I'm still being human, being a real person, and being, but it's not stopping me from what I have to give. I'm just thankfully at a season of life. Um, with His will, I'll be 47 next month.
Wow.
I'm 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 old enough, but still young enough, and thankfully kind of keen in who I am as a person, who I've always been, to feel like the perfect time for all of those broken pieces to start being put back together. And I'm grateful that they're being put back together in front of everybody because
That's it.
it's seemingly inspiring. I
That's
don't
it.
even take ownership for that. I don't even take credit for that. That's just seemingly what it does. So who
Mhm.
am I to say I'm not putting everybody in my business?
Right.
I'm not just. But if I don't know if you're familiar with the movie quote, I'll be your Huckleberry if I got to be the person, if I got to be the one to sometimes show that some days are real hard and some days are real good but all days I'm showing up as me.
That's it.
All days I'm covered. All days I'm just as talented as I was when I was homeless. I'm just as talented as I was when I was struggling. I'm just as talented. It takes nothing away. And I think people they have to see that these days. There's too much
Yes.
fake stuff going on in the world. I don't have that to give. So
That's it.
I'll be your Huckleberry. I'll be the person that, if keeping it real is what we're gonna do, then I got y'all. Because maybe it'll snap something in. I don't know. I don't know what I'm being used for. Sometimes I have to be honest with myself and enter into spaces or conversations or interactions that I know I probably would, but it's something about the connection that's pushed that's like, this is probably bigger than me. So I don't know who I'm meant to inspire. I don't know who I'm meant to help be a blessing to, if nothing but for a moment, if nothing
That's
but for
it.
a song.
That's it.
But if that's what my all these little broken little put together pieces are meant to do, then I'm okay with that.
That's
I,
it.
I
That's it.
love that. I love being like that, Pastor. I almost can't explain it. I love the fact, and I credit my parents, both of them. They my father's still alive. God rest my mother's soul. But both of them in their own right, quirky people, intelligent people, down to earth people, cool people. I had a chance to see in both sides of my family exemplified people that keep it real, show up as who they are. Don't forget what you're made of. Don't forget, and I'm just grateful I finally tapped into not letting all those broken pieces just keep laying there as if they weren't intended to be used in some way.
That's it. That's it. That's it. And I like that. Believe you me, that is coming apart. Um, like I said, I always had a respect for you when I met you, but when I heard your testimony, that gave me an even greater respect because, like I say, you didn't stay there. You got up and you started running, and because your singing reaches so many in so many different genres, when folk come sit at your feet or in um, your Blue Note experiences, believe you me, you don't may not never know what they're going through. But if I can just make it there to just hear her sing, hear her flow, I feel her energy, feel her love. Then, but for a
Yes.
moment, I know that I've escaped from everything that I'm going through in my life, and I guess that's what I enjoy. That's what I see. That's what I feel.
Mhm.
Just checking out the crowd and those that are around, if I can just get here, just feel the vibe, and feel the
Yeah.
groove that's going on for Blue Note. And as you said, I don't know. Well, we understand the purpose of the Blue Note experience and what it is that you're doing, and why God has taken His time to nurture you and put you before people that appreciate you and don't let them
Hmm.
exploit you.
That's it.
And that's a good thing. Some people move so fast, and then boom, 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 and
Well,
then they're
stop
there, and
right
it's
there.
like,
That's a
that's not what I want
that's
to
a
do. That's
word.
not where I want to go.
Yeah.
But He loves you enough to where He's not doing that. He's putting you before quality people. And shout out to Lee Pitts. He's on the live on tonight. And I saw your interview with
Amen.
him. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm here. I mean,
Yeah.
Lee Pitts came to see me at the porch room, and I'm
Oh,
on
it's,
TV
yes,
with
ma'am.
Lee Pitts live. I'm like, okay. And then, to be interviewed with,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, yeah, on the red carpet with Tisha Farrell, one of South Florida's black,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, Tisha and Toya. And
The
you were on
first,
with
the
Doc Irvin
first
and
duo
Tisha on
black
the red
ladies.
carpet. I'm
First,
like, okay. So she
yes,
been
ma'am.
stirring up some
Yeah, that was
things.
actually the first time I performed at Leafits Live after work when I did that interview. That was my very first appearance there. I opened for Gayla James and Dandy Luckhoff that night, and I did that interview with Tisha and Doc Irvin that night. So yes, ma'am, that was my very first time at Leafits Live after work.
That was neat. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. Now, see, all of a sudden, I was trying to give us a little static in the background, um, and then just turn your volume up just a little. I know it's trying not to let that beautiful voice be heard on tonight. So, how long have you been singing? I heard you say, Mama say, come on out and just sing. Just sing me a song, to the barbecues or hanging out in the backyard and whatnot. Age wise, how old were you when you first started singing?
I've been singing my whole life. I remember not singing. Genuinely. I just, I don't ever remember not singing. As long as
Six,
I can
seven,
remember to.
8.
Definitely. For sure. Yeah, by the time I was 5, I was putting on Michael Jackson concerts. I had my little glitter glove and my glitter. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes,
That's
ma'am. It was
neat.
it was going down in my house. Yeah, I was very as a matter of fact, are y'all hearing me okay? My volume is at max. I want to make sure it just went out, but you can hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you. It like it went low a little
Okay.
bit, right?
There's a little bit of a delay, I think. But yes, I've been singing. I was always in plays. I was in the church choir. I was always in, chorus and dance and band. And I was just, I come from a musical family, both vocalist and music, instrumentalist. So I've always been that kid, and it was just something that I didn't think twice about doing. I just always walked around singing. I would get, my thing always was, as soon as I thought someone was listening, I'd get nervous. But if I was just in my own head, I'd just be singing. It's like you would have to kind of do the thing where it's like you hear me, but you can't pay attention to me, because then I'll shy away. So that was what I had to get over.
Gotcha. Okay, okay, that's
Yeah.
understandable. Like you say, they just say hit it, and then here you go. You just start performing,
Mm-hmm.
and just it was fun because Mama say sing. Whether you feel like singing or not. Come over here and sing them a song, Melinda.
Yeah. Well, plus I came up in we had Michael Jackson era, we had
Yes.
Whitney Houston, also a Jersey girl. So Whitney Houston was most tangible to me. Luther Vandross, like came up with music. Plus we had, the kids back in the day, we weren't on all these devices and everything. So we were actually in the, basement making up dances and making up routines. And me and my cousins, that's what we did. That was what we did for fun. So even when I got to high school and I was part of the dance team, I was one of the main choreographers of the dance, because it was something I did: dancing, singing, picking up plays, picking up fashion shows. My stepmother growing up, she's always been extremely fashionable. We used to go raid her closet, put on full fashion shows with her clothes, and then
Yes.
make her and her friends sit there and watch us while we. So we always had. My father has been a huge champion of our creativity and our intellectual. Like he's always been very big on us using our brains, using our creativity, us using our voices, encouraged to sing to the top of our lungs. When I was playing instruments, of course, I thought back in the day that he was being too hard on me, but he was the type that if I was practicing piano, it was again. So I've kind of developed a muscle memory, I guess, and I took it for granted maybe at some point in life, even I don't know, but I didn't realize. I went to States yesterday when I was at Bruno's of Brooklyn. I performed downtown at the staple restaurant downtown Fort Myers. And the gentleman said, you have perfect pitch. He said, I don't know if you realize you have perfect pitch. It's so hard to hear somebody that can sing so many different styles and
Yes.
you fluctuate and you just jump from one to the next and you hit the notes, and like he was just getting more and more excited talking to me, and when I think back, I was the kid that was sitting there for hours playing it again, singing it again, even without other people amping me to do it. When it came to singing, I would be in my bedroom. The hairbrush was the paper towel holder,
Oh
little
yeah. Oh yeah.
roll, and that
Oh
was
yeah.
always my favorite mic. It would hollow out my voice, so I practiced. I practiced different songs. Came up in an era where music, for one, was music. So not only did I get a chance to practice singing, but I got to practice on all of these amazing vocalists. Hence, me always covering Luther Vandross, or to be able to practice on a voice that silky and that smooth and that wide of a range.
Yes.
And I've been hearing that, and I was the little girl that would let music just. I was give her headphones. I was one of those kids. You don't have to worry about her. Put her headphones on. Give her a book. Give her something to write. Give her something like that, and I promise you, you have nothing else to think about when it comes to that little girl. That was me.
That's all right.
So over
Wow.
the years, I've been able to hone my craft, if you will, and it's allowed me to be where I'm at now and have people receive it in the way that they do.
That's all right. And henceforth comes the different genres that you're able to cross over and share with your audiences. That being said, who is your inspiration or your favorite singer? If there's one that you could say.
I say it all the time. Luther and Whitney combined, the
Yeah.
male voice, her. I can't even differentiate. For me personally, my personal, it's those two together. It's just, yeah, they're like
It's
my
hard,
apex singers. Yeah.
hard to say just one because, like you say, you had so many different ones that you sang from or performed from then
Mm-hmm.
until now. So,
Right.
but considering, like I say,
And don't get
two,
me wrong, because I love all kinds of voices. So I love,
yes.
you know, rock style. I love pretty, you know.
Okay, that's okay. We are still live with Blue Note. She will tap in a few minutes. Anytime someone of that magnitude has something to share, we look for interruptions. We look for things that will um, interrupt the show. Um, so we try to alleviate that as much as possible, but we understand and know nothing can stop Blue Note from flowing. Let me see if this is her back on.
Did I jump out on y'all?
That's okay.
I don't
That's
know what just
okay.
happened. It just went on. I'm
It
sorry.
was a
I was
it
like,
was the
oh,
internet. It was the internet and interruption, and I was just
oh,
sharing with so much energy and so much power. It doesn't take much. The internet keep trying to go in and out while you're talking, but we can still hear what it is
oh,
that you're saying. It'll get clear, and then it'll it'll
Okay.
go back, but we understand why. I'm sure you've probably been
Okay.
in the same spot for your interviews, and then all of a sudden tonight it wants to give you some wavering from the spot that you're in.
Yeah,
That's
I understand. I'm sorry it's happening for those, listening, but I do understand. Trust.
That's it. If you're just joining us, you have tapped into a beautiful evening with Melinda Daniel, aka Blue Note. She is a psalmist, poet, lyricist. She's a mom. She's an aunt. She's a Gigi, a grandma. You name it. She what greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, you name it. That's all Blue Note. And we thank her for taking time out of her busy schedule to hang out with us. And of course, you wear another hat during the daytime on a regular job with
Mm,
regular folk. Is that right?
not anymore.
All right. Okay.
Not anymore. That's a
All
very
right.
recent thing. By His grace,
Okay.
I am in a full-fledged mustard seed season.
Okay.
Yes,
Praise
ma'am.
God for that.
And that
That's
is
all
a
right.
first for me. And I mean, in my adult life, that is a first for me. One thing I have always done. I have never been don't have a job, don't, sit. I've never been one of those. I mean, for one, I've been a mother since I've been grown. So, I've
Yes.
had responsibilities. However, I don't know. Sometimes, as they say, sometimes when you don't make a move, he'll put you um, into a move. And ironically, circumstances kind of, again, I didn't pre-plan, but the way in which things kind of fell, it just led me into a deep set prayer, and I'm walking in obedience right now.
All
And that's
right.
going on about 2 months now that I have been full time. Well, I've always been full time Blue Note, but full time Blue Note. So
To where
that
you
is
can
where I'm
focus
at
on.
now. That is actually, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome. And then just delve into
Yeah.
your craft. And sometimes it's not something that we ask for. The shift will take place, and
Right.
we don't realize that the shift is taking place.
Mm.
Amen.
It's what we
Amen.
yes, it's what we ask
Yeah.
for, but when it actually happens, like okay,
Mhm. I saw a meme the other day for the first time, and it said, "God will protect you in the lion's den. You still got to go in there though."
wow.
So that's how I see things.
Yeah,
Everything won't be just easy and unscathed, but I know I'm covered. So
that's
I'm
it.
at right now. I'm trusting Him for it because it's not something that I per se. Not that I didn't think I'd ever get to it, but it wasn't where I was planning per se at the moment in the way in which I kind of got to it. But the message was very loud,
Yes,
so I've been trying to. I am not. I'm trying. I am remaining in my faith walk, and thankfully, thus far, you know, I've been sustained. So, though
that's
He's
it.
letting me, as He says, yes, ma'am.
And then the also part about it, one of our brothers from Fort Pierce, Minister Kevin Rich, says it's a distraction for the internet to have interruptions because the things that you're saying, someone needs to hear that. Someone needs to feel that and understand that when we take a leap of faith, when he shifts and changes our location and what it is that we're doing, then we need to understand like the time is now. Is he clearing my calendar so that when the flow comes or when whatever it is that he's shifting in my life, that I'm free to be able to do that and not have any other
Mhm.
distractions? Um,
Right.
is it a prayer that I prayed and now here it is? Um,
Mhm.
Blue Note
Yeah.
can accept, engagements, day or night based on my calendar and my movement. So it's still a positive thing.
Amen. And thank you for
Yeah.
saying that. I appreciate that.
Definitely, definitely. And then, like I say, we don't. You're a woman of faith, so because you're a woman of faith, I'm not even questioning at this point. I'm just gonna move as he says move. And as you say, the plate is full. The engagements, the invitations are there. Anyone that follows you on Instagram or any of the social medias know that you're on each and every platform. Blue Note is flowing in places that, like, okay, she's there tonight. And then here's the calendar. This is the Blue Note experience calendar. Follow this. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I love it. So they have every
Yeah.
opportunity to be able to feel and experience what we have experienced thus far. And I tell you, I've heard you sing before. I've heard you flow before. But when I heard you under the blue moon, then I have an even greater level of respect for your gifts. I just got to
Thank you,
say that.
Pastor. I appreciate it. Thank you, and thank y'all for coming. I know you don't. I know you take a drive every time you come to Fort Myers to support
It's worth it.
any of the events that you come for. But thank you so much for being at my first showcase. That meant the world to me.
Oh my goodness. It was amazing. We were just like in awe. I'm like, she can sing every genre and she just moves gracefully from one to the other and not break, not not overpower, not overshadow, but yet still able to shift. For I'm like, wow, that's all I kept saying to myself. Every time you went to another song, I'm like, wow.
I mean, she did the same thing at our brothers and sisters out the Felsons. She did the
Right,
same thing there
right,
on
right,
that day.
right,
Yes,
right,
She
right.
was all
yes,
over the place, and she
yeah.
just really broke
We
it
had a
down.
good
I mean,
time.
okay.
We had a real good
Yeah,
time.
we had a good time over there.
Real good
Oh
time.
We
my
had a
God!
good
Shout
time
out
at
to
the
Toya
Felsons.
and Mr. Felson,
Yes,
Anthony.
Anthony.
Mhm.
Yes,
yes.
that
Oh
was a
God,
beautiful experience.
when I say Toya and Tony Felston have been such immense supporters of the Blue Note experience. They are genuinely they continuously lift me up, both in coming to events that I perform at, booking me, shouts out to Tisha and Toya again. They've booked me as an entity and had me perform at their brunch. Toya and Tony have me come to their home and perform for that Easter brunch. And Tisha too. Shouts out to Tisha because she actually had me do her birthday
Oh,
a couple of
nice.
years ago. So in both on personal levels, they were, oh my gosh, I'd be remiss not to say, they were my top sponsors financially for Tisha and Sawyer. Let's Brunch with Tisha and Sawyer were my top sponsors for Under the Blue Moon.
How
So they've been
awesome!
immense supporters. Yeah, I've those queens have showed up, and then like I say, Toya and Tony Felston, they have been really, really great supporters and have shown up and carrying me. I'm just truly grateful for them. I really am.
That's awesome. And what a lot of the
Yeah.
audience don't. Well, she'll be back again. It is the internet and a distraction. That's okay. What a lot of you don't know is when my our pastor, Apostle Lucinda Rich, had a birthday celebration on last year. Blue Note was able to, 2 years. 2 years ago, Blue Note was able to sing happy birthday to our apostle, Lucinda Rich. And she was there to be a blessing to our apostle, but our apostle began to speak into her life while she was on the phone. And I know that was an experience and a half because it was not something she was expecting. And our pastor, Apostle Rich, was just overjoyed by the gift of Blue Note. And she just began to speak to her and into her spirit what the Lord was saying about Blue Note's life and her career. It was so awesome to hear. So awesome to be in the presence of, and I'm just glad I was obedient and followed to invite her to sing happy birthday to our pastor over the phone 2 years ago. Okay, here we go. We're going to try it again. There we
Can you hear
go.
me okay, Pastor?
That's it. You're working it now.
Yeah, I went ahead and switched devices because that's not going to work. I don't know if it was
It's
the
good.
device or what.
Good. Well, I just shared about you saying happy birthday to our pastor 2 years ago. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you moved her so till she starts speaking into your life and about your career. And you was
Yes, she
calling to
did.
be a blessing to her, but she
Yes, she
wanted to be a
did.
blessing by you. Yes, yes,
Yes,
to
she
you.
did. Yes, she did. Can you hear me okay on this before I keep going? So I don't have.
Yes,
Okay, good. Okay,
very
I
good,
think it was the
very
device
good.
I was on.
Very good, very good. So thank you so much for that. She still, talks about that this lady with this beautiful voice called to sing happy birthday to her 2 years ago. So
And thank you for that, Pastor. I thank you for even, entrusting me with something like that. I don't take things like that lightly,
that's it. That's it.
especially with regard to the elders. I'm very particular about that. But I genuinely appreciate it. You reaching out to me and having me do that. That meant a lot.
Definitely. And we don't put anybody in her ear
Mhm.
because she is anointed. So of course,
Right,
it matters
right,
what
right.
goes into her spirit and into her ear. And like I say, it blessed her. It really truly did. So again, thank you so much for that.
You're very
You've been
welcome.
around the industry for a good little while. Again, different genres, different musicians, and that sort of thing. Right now, at this point, if there was one thing you could change in the music industry, what do you think it would be?
Um, I'd say the ethics of it.
Yeah.
Um, And I mean, I think that's well known, even if you're not in it, that that's a
Yes.
factor. But and then that can play into anything. But the ethics of the entertainment industry and how people, especially for real artists, and I'm cautioned to use that term to some degree, but at the same time, I unapologetically say it, real artists. When I
Yes.
mean by real artists, albeit real writers, real singers, real painters, real, you have a genuine talent and gift, and you're sharing, the way that people, albeit individually or as, corporations or what have you, the way that people think that they have a freedom to mishandle
Mm.
you know, your 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 gift essentially, or your mantle, or your work, your
Yes.
like, it's not cheap to make, from in my respect, it's not cheap to make music. It's not
It's not.
it's not
It's
cheap
not.
if you want it to be quality. It's not
That's
cheap
it.
to show up every time for yourself. It's
That's
not
it.
it might seem easy to some people, but this is a very can be a hard thing depending on how you look at it and what you want from it or how you let it affect you. But the
Hmm.
ethics, people's morals and mindsets and audacity
Right.
even is
Right.
at an all-time high. And it's when it comes to, people don't real like, even with streaming, to this day, I still have yet to make $100 from streams.
That's it. That's it.
And I've had music on streaming platforms now since December of 2020.
Hmm.
I've not yet made $100 yet
That's
from
it.
streams.
That's it. That's
And
it.
that's my sitting in my room, using my brain, writing my lyrics, going to the
Hmm.
studio, working with the producer, putting together me. I've co-produced my own music. I've walked into the studio and this is how I need it to sound. I'm not just, you know, I, I'm putting my full everything into that and repeatedly
That's it.
going to and re-recording and getting this right and paying. That stuff adds up. And to this
Yes, it
day,
does.
in
Yes, it
5 years,
does.
I've not seen $100.
That's it.
So
I
it's
ditto.
very, yeah, it's very unethical. It's unfortunate because if you're an artist and you're a artist, that's what I call myself. I put the HE in front of it. I'm a artist. My art is actually coming from my heart, whether
That's
I'm
it.
singing or writing. So it's sad because it makes you feel like, what am I doing it for? Just for people to misuse me or misuse it or mishandle it, what
Right.
I'm putting out there. But um, thankfully, I'm aware of it. So I try to use my discernment,
That's it.
pay attention and hopefully not, if someone does get me, you won't get me twice. You know, you can't get me twice. If you got me,
That's
you
it.
gotta get me again.
For real,
So
for
And
I'm
real.
on to
and
you
look,
now. That's
and it's connected to about 20 platforms, and I'm right behind you with the
Mhm,
releasing the 2020 music and whatnot. And it depends on who is connected with,
mhm,
um, the exposure behind it,
mhm, mhm.
having someone that again you're going to pay
Right,
to
right,
display it,
right,
put it out there, someone that's reputable,
right,
and then it for it to catch on fire, more or
Hmm.
less.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Um, and it's
And admittedly, I mean, I'm fully independent, so maybe there's more that I could have done to, you know what I mean? I'm not going to knock the fact that
right.
maybe there's more work I could have done to increase that. Um, but I literally am fully independent. I mean, I do everything that I'm doing when I can, you know, albeit budget or time or
That's it.
energy or what have you. So maybe there, you know, could have been a little more, you know, because I mean, I think I have good music, but
Yes, you
it's
do.
just a reality check when I see the amount of streams. And I
Yes,
should have looked that up. I forgot the number off the top of my head right now, but the amount of streams compared to the amount of earnings that I have as an artist and as a creator,
yes,
it's
that's it.
just, yeah, it's diabolical.
And then you have followers, you have people that follow you. And that's why I asked
Mhm,
you one time, we were having a conversation, and I said about singing your own music. I know you have
mhm,
songs like Mahogany Blues, The
mhm.
Cipher, Feeling This Way, The Situation, Energy, and I like the energy. So what
I
I
love
try to
energy.
do is when I was sharing the flyers and everything,
Mhm,
then I started putting your music to the
mhm,
flyers so
mhm,
that I can expose those that we're going to tap on tonight to your
mhm.
music, because
Amen.
you're able to sing everybody's music, but I like to share
Yeah.
the artist music so that you can hear the heart of Blue, and
Amen. Yeah.
stages that you were going through when you made your music. And I thought that was
Mhm.
so neat. But I play the energy all the time.
That is actually I consider energy to be my you know staple song. If I were
Mhm.
to tell one person to or tell a person to listen to one song, you know, to best describe my entire thought process, movement,
Yes,
makeup, even you know, as a human, I feel like energy it's literally like a declaration song for me. It's a very beautiful song, and it's funny because I had no plan to make it, um, and it showed me it was already intended because it's genuinely a beautiful song.
it is. It really truly is.
Yeah.
And like I said, I just started listening to your catalog. Um, when I first heard you, then of course I tapped on and followed you, like I'm sure so many others on YouTube. And then I think too, um, as an artist, we follow you and hear you and listen to your songs and whatnot. But the mindset to go over and purchase it
Mhm.
so that it can show in the streaming numbers, I
Yeah.
don't think that has caught up with us yet.
Yeah. Yeah. People
But
take that stuff for granted. Yeah, they
right,
really take it
right.
for granted. Yeah.
That's it.
And
That's
and
it.
and I've learned even I've had to learn like some things you can't take offense to, you
Right.
know, but people don't realize like the music has to be playing for them to
Yes.
see that people are interested in the music. Not to mention, I get weekly emails to say, "This is how many times your song streamed
Yes.
within a week."
Yes.
Sometimes it says three, like in a week.
Right.
I don't, but I have 3,000 followers. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Right.
but
Right.
you
Right.
can't correlate it to the fact that unless someone's playing my song with intention every single day, and there's a
That's
lot of
it.
someone's doing it,
Yes.
then but then on the flip side, you'll turn on the radio and you'll hear the same songs over and over again. And these people are, you know, getting multi-millions of dollars because their songs are just being repeated over and over again. That
Yes.
streaming number is just continuing to rise, where
Yes.
people are going, yeah, I love you and I support your music and I'm happy to see what you're doing, but it's like you gotta be a part of the
Right.
cycle to make it, you know.
That's
So
it.
and in the same, I mean, it's not to say they're not, because even the growing following on social media or the growing following when I go to events, people get to see that. That's why marketing is so important too.
Yes.
I
Yes.
feel like if I'm not going to get all of that feedback from the streams, then it's incumbent upon me to, you know, push my flyers, push my videos, push,
Yes.
try to continue to market myself in different ways so that I don't know, this maybe this interview, for instance, would be something that led to this, or maybe
Yeah,
me
we gotta work.
being in the middle of the street with a tip bucket will lead to someone saying, "Hey, can I book you?" Or
That's it.
that's how it's been going the entire time
Yes,
since I started. And
that's
I
it.
just
That's it.
figured the progression will continue if,
That's
stay the
it.
course.
And then we keep doing what we're doing. If you're just
Hmm.
tapping on to us now, we are in the presence of Melinda Daniel, aka Blue Note. She is already out there skyrocketing. We're already speaking it into existence that God has
I
already
received
done it
that.
and breathe on her talent. She's a psalmist, poet, lyricist. She's a mom, auntie, sister. She's a nana, Gigi. She's doing some great things. She's a well-scaled musician, approachable, shall I say, and she is a artist, as she just said, not an artist. And I love that about you. You can catch her on. She's been at the Poets Room and Music Walking in downtown Fort Myers at Bruno's. I saw the interview about when you sang at Bruno's, and he was just amazed and saying, come out and hear Blue Note, and that's what I like. We may not be streaming, but yet and still to know that in my presence, you feel the love that I
Amen.
share through the
Amen.
music. And I think maybe I'm naive to think that that gains more weight than the streaming. Streaming is good because that's where you get paid. Shout out to one of our Fort Pierce natives, Pastor Kenny Robinson. He did a song with Jacqueline Carr. There are
Mhm.
over 575 streaming
Mhm.
with his song from Fort Pierce, and but he has a agent.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
has someone that's behind him that's
yeah,
putting him in
yeah,
places like London, that's putting him in these different places. So that's another step, that's another
mhm,
avenue that, of course,
mhm,
there's finances to
mhm,
get an agent, and then that agent. But like you say, you're a free agent, you're an independent
yeah,
artist, and it's
yeah,
different.
very
It's truly
different.
different. Yes, and it
Mm.
definitely can be expensive. Yes, it can. So
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, I know it. It gets to be expensive. If people really knew
People
how
think
much.
you, well, why can't you come here? Why can't, like, y'all realize I
Oh
got,
my God. Like, can you do a ticket and can you do a hotel and
I don't have an
expenses
argument.
that go along with it? Yeah. And it's
And I
not that
love
you're not
supporting
worth it.
people. I really do. I love supporting people. I love, going and attending and doing, but things
Yes.
things add up. Everything adds up. I mean,
Yes, it
everybody's out
does.
here struggling. So,
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. We do couples and single conferences. And we got invited to do a couples and singles conference out of state.
mm,
Uh, all expenses was on us, and I think we got a donation like of $100. We did like a 3 day, paid for
mhm,
everything, brought our own stuff, whatnot. It was a couple of 100 miles that we had to
yeah,
drive, get a hotel, and everything else. But the love and the thought behind what we were doing,
mhm,
so you can't take it personal. Maybe that's
right,
all their budget was
right.
the $100 for the 2 or 3 days.
Hmm.
Maybe
Hmm.
that's what it was, but you can't stay there. If it
Yeah,
is
yeah,
what God charged you with, then you just
yeah,
got to keep going. Does that make sense?
right. I was just talking about that today with Under the
Yeah.
Blue Moon, and you two are actually a part of that count. When I was saying to a friend because they were like, you had family come in from out of town, and I said, you got to take in consideration. I had 10 people travel into Fort Myers,
Mm-hmm.
8 of which were by plane. So they
Mm-hmm.
not only bought plane tickets, they also purchased hotel rooms when they got here.
Yes. Yes.
They also bought food and went to restaurants. You know what I mean? Like, and that was, when people use bigger artists and think of, oh, this artist brought all of this money into the city and things like that.
Right.
Like that
Right.
takes it, when I consider my family came to support me, my,
Yes.
they came to support me, but they also spent money on my home wasn't unfortunately big enough to house all of them when they came. So it was like,
Yes.
and we're a little more of a certain age where we don't feel like all doing the, lay on the floor like grandma's house. So with all due respect, they told me they'll see me later and got
Right.
And I had to, I had to respect that. But when I really
Yes,
took into account, I'm like, so, and bought VIP tickets as if they
yes,
weren't family, as if they
yes.
weren't, if
That's
as if
it.
I wouldn't have but just the what it takes to be able to either show support or even on the flip side, throwing an event. I mean,
That's
it's
that's
not
number
that
one.
that was that was my first event. I did a lot of work to get that event. That's not a
Yeah,
cheap, thing to do. People always
yeah,
have, oh, you're so talented, you're so this, you're so that. Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? Did you think
yes.
about doing this? Yes, I've thought about doing a lot of things. I I, I need I can't just do
Finance.
them. I need
That's it.
to get the budget and get the means or have the time or have the
That's it.
strength.
That's it.
I have to remind people sometimes too, I'm not 20. I know sometimes y'all might see me hanging out and stuff, but I'm not I can't do 5, 6 nights a week, but people, they just see, and I can see where mega stars
Yes.
have to tussle with.
Schedules and everything. And then,
Get me wrong, I know some people get to a certain stage and they do forget, but I
yes,
do see, I've gotten a little taste of
yes,
what it feels like when people almost forget that you're also human. You're
yes,
not just this thing that you get to be to or for them. You're
yes.
also human and also have bills and also have, so it's, and then we have this social media, we're just kind of, everybody's, a lot of people, not everybody, a lot of people are in this kind of make believe mindset about how life goes because they're
Yeah.
just scrolling and not really, making it a palpable thing that people are really out here, struggling to, I always tell people, and people think I'm just laughing and being funny, but I can get to an event and dressed to the nines and
Yes,
energy on 10 and all of that.
yes.
And just an hour ago, I was having a meltdown in my house.
Right.
I couldn't
That's
find
it.
the sock I needed, or I couldn't find my key, and I'm the person, and I have to be there on time. And
Yes,
then I
yes,
walk in, and everyone's immediately, people don't think about things like that, but it's like, well, when you showed up, you look like everything was good. I have
yes,
to.
yes.
What y'all don't? I came to be the person. I can't come and look like Eeyore when I get here. That
Right.
doesn't match. And people, it's like, even, do you want to talk or can you go hang out? I'm a vocalist. People don't realize if I'm talking, if I'm eating the wrong stuff,
That's
if
it.
smoking, people
Yes,
just think, oh, if you smoke, it's gonna ruin your voice. Or if you, no, I can eat stuff that will keep me from
yes.
being able to
That's it.
sing
Acid
properly.
and
I can
spicy.
if
Yes,
I try to rush and eat right before something, I can be sitting there fighting, burping while I'm trying to deliver a song. And then I have people looking at me going, they talking about she can sing. You get that girl sound horrible today. Do you realize like I'm tired? People don't take things like that into account. They just think you have the gift, you have the thing. Be on point when I need you to be on point, or when I say
that's it.
for you to be on point, and not take into account all of what it takes for a person to show up. And
Yes,
then on top of that, and I'll go so far as to say, give of themselves in the way that
that's
I
it.
give of myself when I show up.
That's it.
People, they just don't.
We should have called this segment Real Talk with the
Oh
artist,
yes,
Blue
ma'am.
Note.
You knew that, Pastor. You knew that's all I got to get.
Oh my goodness, because like you say, these are things that need to be discussed. We want to know
Yeah.
Blue Note is for real, what she is about and this sort of thing. But we can book Jacqueline Carr and we're gonna lay out
Mhm.
the red carpet. I mean,
Right.
everything's on point, dressing room, right temperature, everything she
Mm-hmm.
requests, this sort of
Mm-hmm.
thing. What
Mm-hmm.
we kind of well, I can't say that about Fort Myers. Fort Myers turned out for the Blue Note. Fort
Mm-hmm.
Myers beef up, turn up.
Yeah.
They're there for the Blue Note. They respect you, and I love that for you as an artist in your community, that they respect your gift and want to invite you. It's an honor for you to want to invite me to your events to
Amen.
be able to share my
Amen.
gift. And then,
That.
like you said, respect my limitations and my vocal
Mhm,
rest, as you call it.
mhm, mhm.
Sometimes to say if I can say no, I can't make it because of dot dot dot. And they respect that and not
Mhm.
like blackball me because I couldn't make it this time.
Right, right, right,
And I
right.
noticed in your comments, you always apologize. If it was something that you couldn't make it to, you apologize. Hey, I'm sorry I couldn't be there. Do you have to do that? No, you don't. But out of
Amen. Yeah,
respect,
yeah.
out of
But my
respect,
spirit moves like that. That's just how
yeah,
yeah. That, thank you. Yeah, that's true. I do that, but it's just that's genuinely how I don't feel right unless I address certain things. You know what I mean? Because
love it.
I don't take it lightly that people support me, have a genuine love for me, have a
Yes,
genuine love for my, like, I don't take that lightly. And I don't think, I have a lot of people by the grace of God say to me, you don't know what you do for me, your presence or your energy or your, I don't know, love or the way you are. Like, you just, some about you, you just don't know what you do for me. And it's like, yeah, but
that's it.
do y'all know what y'all do for me?
That's what I'm
Like,
talking about.
this is, I am walking in so many of my prayers, so many of my daydreams as a little girl. And some days I have to check myself and remind myself, like, didn't you ask for this? Like,
Right,
what,
right.
how you get mad at people because they're expecting you to be the person, but you told them you'd be the person.
Yes,
So
yes.
I don't, when I'm talking and I'm saying the things I'm saying to people, 99.9% of the time, I'm talking to me first. I
Hmm.
continuously check me. I
Yes,
continuously check in with me and my own thought process about how this thing is going to go because I don't take this lightly, especially now with me seeing how people take to me.
yes,
There's
yes.
something bigger than me when it comes to that. That has
That's
nothing.
it.
That can't possibly have. It's if you want to say I'm attractive, there's plenty of attractive people. If you want to say I'm talented, there's plenty of talented people. Like that. There's that can happen in plenty of different places. But
Yes.
whatever that thing that's happening is, that is bigger than me. And
Hmm.
I'm grateful to God that I'm facing my own fears every day.
Love it. I love it. I love it.
Because that's all I'm really doing. I'm just facing
That's
my
it.
own fears every day.
That's
Whether
it.
it be, should I continue? Is it worth it? Do they deserve it even? Can we have a real
Come on.
conversation?
Come on. Come on.
Do they even deserve it? Because I can go, I say it all the time. I can go out that's my biggest flex. I go with me wherever I go.
That's it.
I can go
That's it.
sing in the house. I can go sing in the shower. I can hear
That's it.
me,
Hmm.
but something else is happening. And even down to us, the connection we've made over the past couple years and how it's
Oh
just
my goodness.
continued to grow and thrive
Yes.
and just intertwine. And there's something else happening. And I'm so deeply grateful and honored that I have the type of spirit, the type of connection, the type of awareness of who God is in my life to know
That's it.
that this is an obedience walk for me.
That's it.
Because
That's it.
honestly, Pastor, that introvert, introverted I am, or extroverted introvert, whichever, I am perfectly fine with being in my little corner.
That's
I'm
it.
put baby in the corner. I'll be baby.
Mm.
Put me in the corner. Leave me in the corner. I'm not gonna bother nobody. I
Listen.
don't need nobody bothering me. Just let me mind my business. I'm so happy there. So for me to be in this space and it being received in the way that it is,
Hmm.
God is good. God,
That's
He
it.
is, yeah.
I'm telling you, if you just tapped on to this part of our interview with Melinda Daniel, listen, you just tapped into real talk with Blue Note because we're putting it out there how we feel, the thought process about being an artist, the music that is released, the blood, sweat, and tears, and the love that goes behind putting out music. Um, it's not a common thing. It's something that you do out of love for your music and your craft. And we're still educating our people. We're still educating our followers, about the streaming thing and Follow us, yeah, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. But then go over to that streaming platform and then purchase the music. Is that right?
That's right.
Check out her music, Mahogany Blues, The Cipher, Feeling This Way, The Situation, and then a song, Energy. I put up her information, Blue Note, to reach her by phone, 941-681-0887, or bluenote1@gmail.com, or www.bluenote.com. And I was saying to myself, even if it meant doing singograms,
Mhm.
being able to sing to one of your loved ones. You may have got into an argument and need somebody to make up, tap in the
Amen.
Blue
Come
Note and
on.
call. Yeah, yeah,
Let
call and
me
say,
help
hey,
y'all
can
fix it.
you sing?
Let me help you fix it. I'll help you.
Come on, you need a birthday song sang to someone. I saw it on Instagram. They paid this young girl, and she showed up with these balloons and
Mhm,
flowers, and she began to sing to the
mhm,
young lady's mom. Listen, she's
mhm,
a full-time artist now, so there are
mhm.
things that she could do that she couldn't do before. So you got to
Amen.
hit up. We're not gonna dummy down her gift, but we want you to know that she does, do personal things too, at the same context. And I like that. I really, really true like that. The next venue is the Blue Note Experience. It will be at the Influential Studio in
Yes,
Fort
ma'am.
Myers.
Blue light special.
Blue Light Special.
Yes,
Blue
ma'am.
Light
Yes,
Special.
ma'am. Yeah, it's
And
still Blue Note experience, but
right, the Blue
the
Note
Blue Light
Experience
special is going
and
to
the
be
Blue
at
Light Special.
Influential
Exactly.
Studio on,
Exactly.
yeah, on
April
Friday, this Friday, July 25th. So this
and
is my
April.
second official event. Um, going to be hosted at a studio right in the heart of Dunbar, which for those who aren't on, from this area is the, heart of our neighborhood in Fort Myers, if you will.
Mhm.
Um, I'm very honored to be able to say that. Also, a newly opened location venue. Shouts out to Nora Potts. She is the
Yes.
owner,
Shout out to
operator of
Nora Potts.
Influential Studio. So, I thought it was a good idea. Blue Light Special has been kind of in the same respect that Under the Blue Moon was. The concept of the event has been in my mind for quite some time. But I kind of was thinking, something creative that I can do there, kind of in a cross supportive way.
Yes,
She
yes,
just opened Black owned business, female owned business. Again, right in the heart of the neighborhood. So I wanted to be able to do something there. So it is smaller scale just because of capacity. But it's going to be a good time. It's a,
yes.
think old school kickback. Um, Definitely grown and sexy vibes, definitely the blue light. But just an opportunity for us to do something in another positive, good location. Sometimes grown-ups want to go out. They don't, they want to be out and listening to the music and vibing amongst some other grown folks, but they don't want to necessarily be in the club. They don't want to, they don't want a bunch of people to have to deal with. They don't want to be sitting in the bright light and everybody staring in their face while they're just sitting and vibing. So
That's it.
again, the Blue Note experience. I like when people are, under the sound of my voice. I like for people to feel free to enjoy themselves and vibe. And, I like to think that I tend to pick good music selections and kind of get into the crates, as they say. So yeah, it's going to be a good time, but it will definitely be an Influential Studio, already sold out. So I am proud to say that. Um, and yeah, it is going to be a good time this Friday night.
And then it's going to be
Mhm.
a intimate setting. I
Yes,
like to think
ma'am.
of it like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes intimate settings are good because
Yes.
it helps to kind of like bring like a different vibe. Uh,
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
the Under the Moon was explosive, but I'm sure this
Mm.
blue light experience is going to be something else. And I have a shout out from Carly Stevens on YouTube. Say we love you, Blue, voice of an angel.
Thank
May God
you.
continue to bless you on your journey. Carly Stevens, Sean, and I are looking forward to seeing you on Friday night, and they're on YouTube.
Oh, thank you guys so much. Thank you to everybody. Seriously, this community. I've even had people that have purchased tickets and donated them. Told me straight up, "Listen, I can't be there, but I don't want to miss an opportunity to support you." I've really had a beautiful amount I've had people who have been contacting me, not realizing it's already sold out. Like, hey, I'm
Yeah.
about to get tickets, and they're all
Right,
excited,
right.
and then all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, wait. So, even with that, I keep jokingly saying it, but admittedly, I said, I slept on myself. I didn't realize,
Come
I
on.
didn't realize that, people would be excited for me to throw, and I don't mean to try to, I don't even want to think I'm trying to sound humble. Like, I genuinely did not, my brain just didn't process that people would be that excited about, hey, you're doing something else, and ooh, and what do you mean I can't get tickets? So that's extremely humbling. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
surprised, just thankfully, Under the Blue Moon we were 150 people there. This
Wow.
event, the space is really, that's the only thing. It has a limited space. So we definitely wouldn't be more than 50 people here. So I guess I did know, obviously, I could sell to more people, but I didn't factor in that people would be as
And
excited as
and
they
then
are. Yeah,
two
so I
sold
will
out events.
definitely, we'll be following it up with, I'll be doing something else soon. And
That's it.
this is what I do now. So,
That's it.
um,
That's it.
where, I kind of tell people, if you put it in perspective, for the past 5 years, everything that I've been doing, um, by the grace of God, has been, like you were saying, with a full-time job. I'm a
Hmm.
full-time mother. Yes, my children are grown, but if you have children, you're a full-time parent. So
That's it.
either one of you leave here.
That's
Also
it.
a full-time grandmother. I'm a very attentive grandmother and mother.
Yes. I
So
saw
my
the pictures.
kids, still come first in my life, and I still have, my own personal obligations and family and things of that nature. I've definitely developed a very large amount of personal interactions with different people over the
Yes.
past couple of years. Um, so I'm kind of, it's like a little octopus a lot of times, and but thankfully I've always been a good multitasker. I've always been multidimensional. So I'm here now, and this is what I'm doing. So events and or it not so much always planning events. I'm not gonna, because planning events is and I'm not, even for Friday, it's a kickback, it's a chill out vibe. But
Yes.
I still have a standard about myself. I still,
That's right.
don't want to not give people the right thing. So, albeit me throwing an entire event, or you catch me set up with my fake little living room in the middle of the First Street or Dean Street, and I'm singing, and I just have my tip bucket out there. What will happen every time the Blue Note experience is up at the mic, is going to be an experience that
I
I
love
I
it.
am I am not only guaranteeing in terms of, I'm gonna talk my junk, and that's what I know I'm gonna give, but I
Hmm.
also know that's what happens every time. And
That's it.
in some way, shape, or form, some things happening, somebody's having a moment before the night is over. Every
I
time
love it. I
somebody's
love it.
being affected.
I love
And
it.
I'm just grateful I'm able to do that. And but hopefully by his grace, continue to make money while I, have fun doing what I love to do.
Have fun doing what you're doing. Like I
Mm.
say, second sold out event for Blue Note.
Yes, ma'am. Amen.
I
Thank
love it.
you. Yeah.
The second of many, shall I say?
Yeah.
Anything you want to share into a spirit on tonight? I'm telling you, it's we call it now real talk with Blue Note. Because we had to get into that side. We can talk about the things, talk about the gifts, talk about Blue Note as the artist, but the story behind trying to get there. Struggle number one, being what we went through as far as our broken pieces are concerned. Still saying thank you, Lord, because He said, "In everything give thanks, for that's the will of
Mhm.
God." So thank you for where you brought me from, because now when I sing soulfully, I'm singing from my heart
Amen.
because of all the
Amen.
things that I've been through. And that's what we feel.
Amen.
That's what we feel when you begin to blow. Now, if you had a thought process of what platform or what artist you'd like to perform with, where would it be and who would the artist be?
Um, Platform, like venue.
Yes.
So it is, and it's probably predictable, but for those who aren't aware of it, and it's not why my name is what it is,
Mm-hmm.
but I, for one, definitely want to do Madison Square Garden one day. It's
Woo!
just,
Beautiful. Putting it
I
out
grew
there.
up, I grew up in that area, and it just, to think as an artist, to know that I can sell out Madison
Mm,
Square Garden would just be
love it.
phenomenal. I definitely would. I can't wait to see Blue Note live at the Blue Note Jazz Club in New York. Um,
Mm,
I can't wait to see my name on the Blue Note marquee.
wow.
That just, yeah, that
Wow.
does, yeah. And Tiny Desk, the Tiny Desk platform.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
definitely have, which ironically I ended up in the contest this year. Um, but I've been wanting, and I even did a post a couple years about it, that one day you will see me perform at Madison Square Garden. You definitely will see me on the Tiny Desk one day. Um, those are platforms that I would love. And then I think for an artist, I think most people liken me. So I always hear Mary J. Blige when people say they think of who like to compare me to. I either hear Mary J. Blige, or I hear Erica Badu, or I hear Lauryn Hill. Um, so I think if I were to ever, just for the kind of, like, it's been such a, I've been hearing it since all of them came out, literally every one of them. Um, I think it would be cool to be able to hear like what that would sound like if I were in a duet with one of those voices,
Mm. So Lauren Hill or Mary J.
or
or
Erica Badu
Badu.
for sure. Yeah.
Mm, mm. Yeah, like you said, got that flavor. We
Mhm.
believe in speak those things as though they were. So we put it in the atmosphere so that whatever God decides to do with it, or
Mhm.
whenever He decides to do it, we've already spoken it. So
Amen.
whatever He says, whatever He does, whenever He think that we're ready
Yes.
to take
Yes.
on these tasks, then do it, Lord.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're not afraid.
Yeah.
The young lady that we interviewed from the military say, if your dreams are not big enough to scare you, then you haven't dreamed big enough.
Mhm. Amen.
Okay.
Amen.
So we've already said the Blue Note experience at Madison Square Garden. And I know your
Mhm.
listeners, if they don't hear it now, they're going to hear it after the interview is over.
Mhm.
The Blue Note experience at Madison Square Garden, the Tiny Desk platform, or the Blue Note Jazz Club.
Mhm.
Um, so you hear that. You hear the desires of a heart. So those that know how to pray and it's God's will, then
Amen.
suffer it to be so. So that we'll have tickets when you get ready to go into those places and be able to do go back, backstage with the Blue Note.
You don't even have to get no tickets. Just as sure as I'm in one of them, you're gonna have tickets, all right? Because I'm gonna be sending them for you. I'll tell you that. Y'all gonna have, listen, front row seats. My gosh, you guys, both of my events, both of my sold out events, you have bought tickets to both of them. You guys have been amazing supporters. I really appreciate you. I
Listen,
genuinely do.
I can't. We can't wait to see what He's going to do in your life. And our apostle said the same thing. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard
Amen.
what God is going to do. Our international overseer spoke into this young lady's life. Oh, I can't think of a name, but she cooked for her and laid out a the royal carpet for her.
Miranda Curtis.
Miranda Curtis. She
Mm,
actually came
mhm,
to Fort Pierce and sang at our international overseers
mm.
appreciation.
That's a
And she
voice
got,
right there.
oh my God, and she got a
Mhm,
chance to taste our apostles' food. And then our
mm.
international overseer spoke into her life, and everything that she spoke into her life has come to pass in her
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Now that
that's the
reminded me, that's one thing when I think of someone who not even so much sing with, but if I could just sit across the table from Patti LaBelle or
oh
Gladys Knight,
yeah,
while they're still yet here, and just kind of just,
clean.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Stephanie Mills, I was honored. I am honored. I'll forever be honored if I never get a chance to meet her face to face. I do at least get to say that Stephanie Mills heard me singing her song, and showed me some love for singing her actual song
I love
on
it.
the internet, but it was a very, very powerful moment for me,
Oh
you
my
know,
goodness, I love it.
growing up and hearing her my whole life and her being the powerhouse vocalist that she is even
I
to this
love it.
day.
Hmm.
Um, so that's like a, when I think of the elder voices and those who I came up on and having, actually being able to think like she really heard me
Yes.
sing and thought, didn't count it as robbery to just show me a little love real quick. And yeah, that was a definite monumental moment for me.
Sometimes that's all it takes, right?
Yeah.
Mhm,
Oh my God.
mhm.
Listen, we are so excited that you stopped by long enough to hang out with us again. We have been in the presence of the one and only Blue Note one on one. Let me say it like this: real talk with Blue Note one on one. Blue Note, the artist, psalmist. She's a musician. She's a poet. She's a lyricist. She's a mom. She's a Gigi. She's a sister and an auntie. She's a mother. Energetic, full of love. If you see the pictures that I posted, you know she's a bad girl. I had to take those pictures from your page and post them. I'm like, whoever that photographer is, she's
Shout
part of.
out to
Woo!
Janda Marie
Oh my
Photography,
God,
especially
she's a
for the
bad
drops that
girl.
I just did today for a Blue Light special.
Oh my
Shouts out
goodness.
to Janda Marie. She's actually she's captured me before.
Uh-huh.
I know you probably know the pictures, the ones when I did the Dixie GMC. I was
Yes,
inside the car dealership. Those really
yes,
gorgeous, vibrant pictures. That's actually
yes.
where we met.
Okay.
And then I also have a picture. I'm sitting like on a column with my afro, and I have the big long red dress on with the mic up to my
I saw that
mouth.
one. I
That's
saw that
also
one.
her as well. So
Mhm.
she is phenomenal. She actually will be in the building as well on Friday,
I would love to
capturing
meet
some more
her.
shots for me. So she's just amazing. You guys, please, I will definitely put her information in the comments. She is an amazing photographer. And we work really well together. So I'm really grateful to her. She captured the essence of what I
Oh
wanted
my
for Friday
goodness.
really well.
Yes, she did. Yes, she
Yeah,
did. Yes, she did. They were beautiful
yeah.
photos. I had to show them.
Oh,
Post them.
thank you.
I
Yeah,
posted them on LinkedIn. I posted them on Instagram. I'm like,
yeah.
listen, this is what we are sitting in the presence of on tonight. And that one
Um,
sitting with the multicolored,
yes,
that
ma'am.
first one, what I say, you're fire. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness, that
yeah,
was
yeah. Thank
beautiful,
you. Thank you
man.
very much. Those are gorgeous pictures. Actually, I had to be patient because they were ready prior to the weekend, but we I wanted to respectfully wait because we had to pay homage and respect this weekend to a recently lost community giant here, Miss
Yes,
Antoinette Gilmore Anderson. So
yes, yes.
I just we waited until today to drop them, but I
Drop
actually had them
everything.
Friday. So I was like, oh my gosh, this picture, yeah, that thing,
Woo,
she showed out. And that's, to be
it
honest
was.
with you, I haven't even those are the first two pictures that
Oh,
my girl, she is a great photographer. So please, by
she
all
is.
means, if you want to use that picture of me, and I don't mean it in a conceited way, but just
Yes,
honestly from the artistry and the beauty of it, if you want to
yes,
use that as a standard of what she's capable of, by all means, please book her, and I will put her info in the comments when I'm,
yes.
back on Facebook for sure.
Please let her know that I
Yeah,
am a lover of her work. It
thank
is
you,
outstanding.
thank you.
The camera just caught what it saw. That's all I can
Yeah,
say. You know,
amen.
that's it. When you run into a
Take it back.
photographer, oh my God! Like shout out to Bonita North. Oh my
Mm,
goodness. That
yeah.
guy that captured her picture with the African attire, he captured the essence of
Yes,
a
yes.
beautiful woman.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Bonita
sure
came to
that's
know.
Andy Dunn who took those. And
It
if it
is
is,
Andy
I hope
Dawn.
to God I'm not misquoting that, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. But he
Yes,
is
it is.
also credited to many of my pictures. Actually,
I
the picture
know.
for Blue Light Special, the
Was
actual
his.
flyer picture, that's him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it. That's it. I
yeah, he,
love a
he
great
did that
photographer.
picture.
I
Yeah,
love a great photographer that can
yeah,
catch the essence of the person,
yeah,
not
yeah.
this, but they catch this, and this is
Amen.
what shows on your pictures.
Amen.
So shout
Amen.
out to them on tonight. You sure it's not
Thank
anything
you.
else? I was just so excited to be with her on tonight.
I'm just gonna drop a
Pastor's
quick
so
nugget.
calm, cool, and collected. I love it. Just be chilling.
I'm just gonna drop a quick nugget.
Please
Uh,
do.
I want to leave this with you on tonight. Uh, Grapes. must be crushed to make wine.
Yes.
Diamond form under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Olives are pressed to release oil.
Mm-hmm.
Seeds grow in darkness. So,
Mm-hmm.
woman of God, whenever you feel crushed, under pressure, pressed, or in darkness, just remember you're in a powerful place of transformation.
Mm.
Thank you, Pastor.
That's all right.
I
I
just want to say
received
that with
that.
you.
Thank you.
That's
I
awesome.
wholeheartedly received that. Thank you.
That's it. Oh my goodness. That's good. Because like you say, you feel all of those when you are trying to I say I wouldn't say sing. It's almost like ministering. Present a gift. Do what it is that God has called you to do.
Mhm.
Your whole heart is in it. There will be some that's going to receive it. Everybody's not attached to your belly, so there are going to be some that get what it is that you're trying to display, and then there are going to be some that's just out there for fun,
Yeah.
and then there are going to be some that their life will be changed, as you say, by your ministry and your walk and where you came from and your broken pieces. So that's what I watch, that's what I see, that's what I appreciate, and that's what I thank you for, your broken pieces.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Definitely, definitely. That's it. And that being said, stay tuned, stay connected for my new release, which is called My Broken Pieces. It will hit Amazon. And thank you for supporting my book ministry. It'll be available
Mhm.
after July 24th on Amazon.
Mhm.
And again, thank you all so much for the support. Thank you so much for supporting Blue Note on tonight. Thank you for those that know how to pray and cover her, and that are real friends that are in her intimate circle that can keep her encouraged in the midst of every storm, in the midst of every trial that she may go through. Thank God for your inner circle, the ones that you don't know that's covering you in prayer. I thank God for all of them. And I pray
I
for them
do.
because it takes a
Amen.
special person to cover Blue Note.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Shout out.
Know that we love you. Any shout outs you want to give before we go?
Oh gosh. Oh Lord, there's so many people. I hate to, I'm gonna definitely shout out my baby girl.
We got
She's
time.
definitely been a huge help. And not only as a a daughter, but genuinely as even though I personally don't like to use the word fan unless I'm fanning for someone else, but she's a genuine fan of mine, and that's like really awesome to see because obviously she's of my womb, so I know what's genuine with her and what's not, and I get to see you know I get to see my own lineage, excuse me, and my own legacy looking
Yes.
back at me and kind of cheering me on and checking me even sometimes and reminding me who I am. When I tell you, if it's somebody that will get quickly, you know, beside herself if need be to remind me that, lady, do you know who you are? And to hear that from my daughter, they're just
Woo.
that's very powerful. So
Yes.
um there's a lot of people I can shout out, but tonight I'll say I'll give a shout out to my baby girl.
That's all right. That's
Yeah.
it. And shout out to Dad, wherever you are. Thank you so much for being the seed.
Amen.
No, not being the seed, but the developer for Blue Note. Let me get it right, right?
Amen. Amen.
Thank
That
you
is
so
true.
much. Oh
That
my
is
goodness,
true. And
such a
honestly, I have a lot of people. My family, I come from a very long history of people who are supportive of my gifts and so I've never really had anyone be like, shut up, or, thankfully. And there's a lot of people who have had to fight that in their own homes. And so that's not, I've had the other stuff,
right,
a
right,
whole lot
right,
of other
right.
stuff.
Yes,
But when it came to my gift and even my intellect and my prowess, even to some degree, of course, I
yes,
had to develop to a grown woman before maybe that was the word that would be used, but my energy, my life. Um, I've had a lot of people in my life who have encouraged that, and I'm super grateful for that. My
that's
babies,
awesome.
both of my biological kids, my step kids, but they look at me and genuinely like, look at you doing what like they give me that look even if they don't say it out loud. I get the we're proud to see you doing what we knew you could always do. So
That's what I'm
I'm
talking
grateful I
about.
get to see that and smell those flowers while I'm still yet here.
That's it. That's it. Oh, thank you
Yeah,
so much for
thank
being with
you.
us and sharing. Oh, just the heart is full.
I'm coming, Elizabeth. You don't pull the, you don't pull the Fred Sanford on me, Pastor.
Well, like I say, just know we love you, and truly, there's nothing you can do about it.
Amen. And I love you both as well. The same in return. Truly. Thank you very much.
And we look forward to hanging out Friday nights.
Yes, we are. We're gonna hang out too.
All right. Mwah. Have a good
Thank you,
night.
guys. God bless you. Thank you so
God bless you
much.
too. Bye
All
bye.
righty.
Changing in my tone, I'll never be the same.